What this figure communicates is our reality is mutually enslaved system of our DNA and our environment. There's a continuous bidirectional signal that must occur to sustain our existence. So when aging takes place, there's a failure of signaling in the DNA system. Changes in cellular function lead to changes in the organ and the overall body. One example is the change that happens to vessels. Over time, they become stiff due to alterations in the cellular signaling, which leads to inflammatory states, which causes this thickening and stiffening of the vessel. This then causes the heart to have to pump harder. It affects oxygen delivery and can lead to hypertension. But the arrows can also move from the environment to the DNA. Pollution, lack of sleep, poor diet, smoking can further alter cellular function, affecting negatively impacting signaling and causing more inflammatory response and accelerating the disease process. Shows is that different systems will decline at a different rate. So if you look, our reproductive system declines very quickly, and by the time we get to the end of our life is basically non-functional. Our cardiovascular and pulmonary systems decline at a steady rate. We see our musculoskeletal systems not as fast as a rate. Neurologic, GI systems don't decline nearly as fast as those other ones we mentioned there. So each system is going to decline at its own specific rate, and part of this comes back to our DNA, our cellular signaling, based on what the role is of these different systems. This figure is from the same article, and it revisits this concept of physiological reserve. As we age, we lose physiologic reserve. See the resting line in the figure at the bottom? This is the threshold value for function. When we drop below this line, we become frail. How this figure is different, though, it shows numerous paths to frailty. Some people avoid frailty longer than others. This goes back to the concept of DNA and the environment being mutually enslaved. Both influence the path and both are affected by the other. Poor signaling from DNA can accelerate aging, but a healthy diet and exercise can counter this signal.